Guys, number one reason why you're not seeing progress, and number one reason why you get injuries all the time. This is why. So the reason we get injured is because we don't recover. We need to stretch more on the days that we don't train or on the days before you train, especially when you train legs. Even when training shoulders or back, you should try to do some stretches as I am doing here. So this is a great stretch and warm up for the shoulders. Put your fist to your head, right by your ears, and then move them to the front and then all the way to the back and feel the stretch of your lats and your rhomboids and everything in the back. Just try to hold it 2 to 3 seconds in the front, 2 to 3 seconds in the back. You'll feel a nice stretch on the front and you'll feel a nice stretch in the back, especially on your shoulders. So here what we're going to do is basically put your hands together into like a fist with the finger pointing up, and this will get the synovial fluid into the shoulder, get it ready for you to actually train it and give you more range of motion while you move, more natural movement to the shoulder so you're not injured when you're starting to lift weights. So I actually wanted this to be like a guide for you guys and you could actually follow along with me. So that's the reason why this video is long, but I think it's very helpful, especially if you actually apply what I'm telling you to do here. And if you do this before your workout or on your days off, you just want to stretch, relax, recover. So what I'm doing here is a side bend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push my torso to the one side and then stretch with my arm on the other side. You should feel a great stretch in the lat here. It's really good to hold there for like 5 to 10 seconds. It's really good on the lat, activates it, gets it ready. This is also exercise for the obliques, it stretches, and the whole torso area. This is tough, but I'm going to try to do my best because I'm in the basement. So basically you want to breathe in, put your palms together at the top, then come all the way down to the front, and then bend over and touch your ankles. And hold it there for 10-20 seconds. You'll feel a great stretch in your hamstrings. This here is an awesome exercise for the hamstrings and lower back. It really gives it a nice stretch to the lower back and to the hamstrings. Do this especially if you're going for a run or you're about to start training legs. It's a great stretch. Hold it there for 20-30 seconds. It'll feel good. I actually like the way it feels. You'll feel the tension, the lactic acid. It's really good. Just stick to it and eventually you'll be able to reach the chair. This is another great exercise for the inner thighs and the glutes. It really activates them. It really gives it a nice stretch. So basically it's like a lunge, but then what I'm doing is I'm putting one arm. So I'm pushing with one arm against right there. So against my knee, and just whatever feels comfortable. Don't overstretch it. Enjoy. So from here, I'm doing the same thing as I did in the other one, but this time I go really deep down and try to put my head right by the ankles, which is impossible, but that's the goal. So the more you stretch, the more you'll feel your lower back, but in a good way, and your hamstrings. So I shouldn't have to tell you that it's really important to stretch and to build your lower back. So there's not enough exercise that you could do for the lower back. You should do everything for the lower back, in my opinion, especially as you get older. So what I'm doing here is I'm just bending over to the side of one leg, grabbing it and stretching the hamstring and lower back, then repeating that to the other side, and then I'm also doing it into the center. Guys, I want to apologize because the camera here is not getting wet, basically my feet. But what I'm doing is I'm basically grabbing my feet together and pushing them together as far as I can, and basically feeling the stretch in the inner thighs. And it's also really great exercise, or a great stretch I should say, for the chest as well if you just open up a little bit. Another thing I'm doing here that I didn't mention, and it doesn't show too much here, I'm pushing against my knee, against my thighs, to basically give it a more stretch. With this exercise here, just please be careful. Take your time. This is a great stretch for the inner thighs, for the quads, the lower back, the chest. It stretches everything. It feels so good here. Breathe in, breathe out. You can stay there as long as you want and enjoy. Please also be careful when you come out of this position.